So how do you talk to your cake designer or maker? It's a little tricky. Cakes are usually booked 6 months in advance. So if you're calling them a year and a half in advance, they're going to have a hard time kind of wrapping their head around the exact date. If you call them a week before your wedding, they may have a hard time accommodating your request. So it's best to give yourself a 3 to 6 month window to contacting your baker or decorator. You also want to come to them with some ideas if you can. Either give them full rein or give them some really clear direction, meaning you're going to come to them and show them your invitation, maybe what your wedding dress looks like. They can incorporate the lace that you're going to have in your veil into some elements that are going to be represented on your wedding cake. It's a great way to really tie in all of the different ideas behind your wedding design. A good thing to do too for wedding planning in general is to come up with a mood board. So not necessarily pictures of the chairs you want for the reception, but the kind of spirit you want to invoke. What do you want people to feel? How do you want them to feel? Is it a really beachy, summery feel? Or do you want kind of a snowy aspen type feel? Also, architectural elements. Do you want it to look like a surf hut? Do you want a really casual, fun event like that? Or do you want it to be very, very formal? Having as much information ahead of time to give to the cake decorator is really going to be reflected in your cake. Also, floral designs. If you can speak to your florist before you speak to your cake designer, that's great. That way they can start almost immediately putting together sugar flowers, if that's what they'll be doing for your wedding, which can give them a really good head start. But really keep an open mind and let them run away with it. You're basically commissioning an artist, and you want something that comes from them. A lot of brides will bring in pictures of other cakes. That's not verboten, that's totally fine. We're happy to see our colleagues' work and know that, sometimes we get our own pictures back, which is always really fun. Let that serve as an inspiration. Nobody wants to do an exact replica of somebody else's cake. Just like you wouldn't want them coming to your job and saying, remember the person who was here before you? Do it exactly the same. Let them put their own spin on it. I think you'll be really happy with the end result. So those are some great tips for how to interact with your baker or a decorator.